So I say thank you because in just a few months, Liberia will experience almost 20 consecutive years of peace. Sure. And we could not have had that peace if you, each and every one of you, in your own way, did not contribute to it. And I thank you for the time I was able to serve you as president and to start the processes of rebuilding our country. Let me say that I'm surprised at the numbers that are here. I know that either for reasons of the difficulties we face because of the conflict, the war and everything, so many of our citizens have had to cross borders, have had to reside in other places and other countries that have hosted them. But I also know that each of you have found a way to just make it. And that is what has happened to you. We have tried to find out where all our citizens are. And I personally, when I travel, I say to Liberians, there's still no place like home. Sure. We know that circumstances allow you to go, whether for safety, or whether for better education, or whether for better public service. We understand that. But the responsibility for the building of Liberia rests only with Liberians. And only Liberians can carry out this responsibility. And so while you are here seeking an education, just know that until you return home and join with the others, many of whom are making great sacrifice by remaining at home, until you are ready to join them and be a part of that process, you will not help us to fulfill the dream that you want, a better Liberia that you can live in and not feel any urge or any reason to go elsewhere. But you are here. And we understand seeking an education is the #1 priority of every individual. And those of us who hold leadership positions in the country must also enable you to achieve that objective. Because you can only help us in Liberia if you're educated. Not that the others who are not do not make a contribution. In fact, they actually do. Many of the women who are in rural areas, who are the ones that feed the nation, make a contribution. But they depend upon you as their sons, as their daughters, that you are going to, with an education, you are going to enable to raise them to a higher level. That you will be able to help them so that their children and their children's children will also have the opportunity that you have to go to school, to become a professional, to be able to help others, and to develop your country. What do we do about our numbers that are out in school? I believe some of those come out with scholarships that are granted by governments to support Liberia's effort to educate our citizens. I heard that in some of the statements, which I thank all of you who have spoken for everything that you said. I know that many of you come out of your self-effort. And you do so because you want to get an education that is more specialized, that you feel will deepen your own longing to become a full professional. There are times when we many of us do not know who all are those, the numbers that we have in school, those that we have out of the country, seeking a better life, seeking an education. And we all have to put our heads together as to how we get a particular approach, an instrument that's going to give any government in power the information that they need to be able to help you. You said, I will come to the question of the consulate or the ambassador. But you must always be able to communicate, have a Ministry of Education. Yes, politicians come, and politicians make offer to you. Some fulfill it, some do. That's the political way. You know, and so you must find a way where your associations can communicate what you need, what your situation is, to the right organ in the government. I would take it, in most cases, would be either the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the Ministry of Education, or both, so that they can know. I hear some of you say you do make letters, you do make appeals, and you don't get answers. Let's try again. Let's do it over and over again and see how we can get them to listen. Just realize that the difficulties that are being faced now are difficulties that may not put them in a position to respond to you, each and every one of you, at the time that you want to. Because the country itself is going through a process of still trying to rebuild, difficult, and this year is particularly difficult because it is a political year. And in a political year, it's most difficult to get the focus of everybody other than those who want to run for elected office or those who are supporting the candidates who seek elected office. And sometimes the attention that you deserve may not be at the level that you want it. But we should try to see what we can do. And you must also know that we need some of your ideas at home, not just to complain. We need for you to say things that will help us to help you. Tell us some of the ideas you have, and what are the things we can do as leaders to be able to respond to you. It's not always with money. Sometimes it's just ideas. Sometimes it's just, if you can take this particular action, we might be able to do better. We might be able to do things better. If you can communicate in this way, we can then try to respond. And so I ask you to also know that that responsibility of moving the country, the responsibility of getting what you want, also rests with you. It is a dual responsibility on the part of you and the leaders through a compact. The compact has said in so many cases, if you are here and you are educated, can we count on you to come back home and to serve your country in whatever capacity that you have excelled in your training and in your profession. Grievances, it's always a Liberian way, right? Always got problems. Always finding fault. That's all.
I think you're ready now. I think we're ready.
But that's all right. And that education gives you the ability to speak, you know? To say your words. And I like it when you talk big, you know, they say swap. say that? South. That's the word you just used, right? Now, it's going to be difficult for them to do an embassy in Rwanda. Let me be very frank with you, simply because the country is not in a position to open an embassy in every country. And the government has been trying to cut back to have strategic places, but places that are close enough to another place so that you can communicate to it. And so that's why Addis is here. And Addis is not so far from here. So an embassy may be very difficult. It is possible through the honorary consulate system, where they would find somebody in the country, and Kigali, Rwanda, in other words, would certainly be